Imagine that you're in an arena, and sitting in the arena are Siths and Sith ghosts and Jedi, past and present, maybe Senate Council people from different periods, and they're all there for one purpose: to watch two Jedi fight till the death. Let's call it Star Wars Fight Club. Now, it doesn't matter if these two characters lived in different time periods, or they're on different timelines, or they're different movies, or whatever. It's not going to be integral to the plot. It's not going to affect the storyline or the saga of Star Wars. It's just two characters that you want to see fight till the death. Only one can survive. Welcome to Pop Culture Fridays. I'm Troy. Make sure to hit that subscribe button below. This is the kind of dumb shit we talk about every week. You don't want to miss any of that hot action. Now, how do you determine which Star Wars characters to pick? Everyone's going to have their own opinion. For me, first, I'm going with Darth Maul versus Darth Vader. Let me explain why. I think first, they're the best two costumes in all of Star Wars. I mean, Vader with his helmet and his buttons and all that cape. He's got a cape. And then Darth Maul with his makeup and his horns and his acrobatic ability and his double-edged lightsaber. Amazing. I also think, secondly, that they're the two best villains, not only in Star Wars, but maybe of all time. They're certainly in the top 10, which is saying a lot for Darth Maul, by the way, because he didn't get much screen time. Vader obviously had a huge impact on the culture, but Maul was just kind of like in and out really quickly. I know that he existed in the Clone Wars or the Rebels or whatever it is. I haven't seen that. I know I need to get on that. I'm just talking about the movies here. Didn't have much screen time, but made a huge impact. I think he's one of the best villains of all time. One of the best costumes for sure. Thirdly, yes, the Emperor and Luke, and you could probably come up with someone else in books or something that was tougher, but I think these are also the two of the baddest motherfuckers in the Star Wars saga. I want to see these guys fight till the death. Now, before I tell you who I think will win and why, let's dive into each character really quickly, and then you can comment below about how stupid I am or how smart I am, and then you can also tell me who you think will win and why. Maybe even tell me what characters you would like to see fight first and who would win and why. All right, but first, let's dive into the two characters. Let's start with Darth Maul. Here's what I love about Darth Maul. First, the outfit, obviously. And I know I've mentioned this before, but his acrobatic ability paired with this double-edged lightsaber is a spectacular thing to watch. It's like watching Arsenal play football over in England. It's just a beauty in motion. It's fluid, and then with that grin he's got with the teeth and the horns, it's intimidating at the same time. So he seems like kind of a smaller guy maybe, but he's got that grin that's so intimidating. It makes a big difference, I would imagine, the psychological advantage of that. And then pair that with he's just so agile. He's like an angry little tornado that's just going to come at you, and he's got lightsabers sticking out of every hole, and he's just flying at you. I think that he might be possibly the best lightsaberist in the galaxy. I'm not sure. In the universe, maybe there are others that might be better. I mean, some people, like, look at the Emperor, he was good with lightning or whatever, and Yoda was good with everything, it seems like. But I don't know that anybody was necessarily better with the lightsaber than Darth Maul. I mean, he did technically, maybe he cheated because he had one coming out of each side. I don't know if that's cheating or what the rule book says, but I think I think those are the qualities of Darth Maul. I think that would be a handful for Vader, because Vader's, he's in that ironclad suit. He's in that 15th century English armor. He can't move as well. I think that those maneuvers from Darth Maul would be a big fucking problem for Vader. So that's Darth Maul. Now, everybody knows Darth Vader. Everybody knows what his qualities are. I don't think he's just a great fighter in terms of using the lightsaber. He's also got that ability, that strong mental ability. So, I mean, I'm not going to go too much into Vader here because we know all this stuff, because it'll give it away as to why I think one person will win or one person will lose or whatever. But Vader is Vader, and we all know Vader. And in case you forgot Darth Maul, I went over that. I think these are two of the best fighters. Who do I think will win? And the winner is Darth Vader. It's got to be Darth Vader, and let me give you a couple of reasons why. I do think Darth Maul would make problems for Vader with his agility and his movements, with Vader sort of in that suit. But it's not like Vader's a lightweight with his lightsaber, right? He's going to find ways to get around it. Vader's choking bitches left and right. I think Vader has a stronger mental strength than Maul. Now, one thing I will say about Maul is when he was fighting Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan at the same time, which is something that Vader didn't do, so you got to keep that in mind as well. There was a scene where he sort of reached out with his hand. I mean, he did it with his mind, and he threw something at the door. Sorry, I didn't mean to move the camera there. He threw it at the door and it hit like the little button you push to open it or whatever. And he did that with his mind. He did it quickly. So if you go back and watch Phantom Menace, watch that fight, he does it really quickly. That's a pretty strong mental ability, but he doesn't ever... Of course, we don't see him on screen as much, but I think that the mental ability of each of the two characters is going to be the difference in the fight, and I think Vader wins basically because of that reason. Let me give you another reason why. This is sort of in the same regard, but if you think back to that fight where Darth Maul killed Qui-Gon and he was basically about to kill Obi-Wan as well, Obi-Wan was hanging off that thing and Darth Maul was fucking playing games with him. Now, Obi-Wan doesn't have, from what I've researched, and the very little research I've done, the midichlorian rate of Darth Maul is high, but it's not as high as Vader, but it's better than Obi-Wan's, is that right? And Obi-Wan, he's like, I don't want to say he's a mudblood, but he's kind of like somewhere, doesn't have like a high midichlorian rate, or if you know what midichlorians are, like you have to look it up. They're like microscopic life forms that live in harmony with you, and the higher the count, the more you're in touch with the Force, I think. I'm not sure. But he underestimated Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan jumps up, flies over, slices him in half. Now he survives that. I don't know how, but he survives it. So that's, I think, a weakness of Maul, is that the cockiness and his inability to see that coming. See Obi-Wan, see a person who was hanging to his death. He should have just sliced him right there, but he didn't. And I think that's the kind of mistake that Vader will take advantage of. Vader knows that. Vader's choking bitches left and right. He's picking up big things with his mind and throwing it at you before he even gets to the lightsaber fight, like what he did to Luke in the last scenes of Return of the Jedi. So I think those things are what put Vader over the top. Let me give you one more reason. You may not like this one, but I think it will matter. I think Maul, as cocky and as brilliant and savage as he is, I do think that he would be a little bit intimidated by Vader simply because of the mystique. I think that it would matter that Vader's storyline in the saga is just bigger. It's almost like, I don't know, if like LeBron James or Michael Jordan, these are great players, right? They've won championships, they're icons. Is there someone in the country, like in a neighborhood, who could beat them one-on-one? Probably. Somewhere in the world? Probably. They're playing pickup games and they're blowing people away. It's certainly possible that they could beat LeBron or Jordan one-on-one, but they don't have the background. They haven't dealt with like the media. not that Vader's dealing with the media. Like, I think it was a good. I think the Death Star is really coming together. I think we're gonna. But I think that stuff matters. I think it would play into the mindset of Maul a little bit. If assuming that I'm sort of assuming that these characters are aware of each other in their stories. I guess I should have clarified that. But let's just say that they're all aware of everything. So I think that Darth Vader's sort of the impact that he's had on the saga and the way people see him and the intimidation and the end of Rogue One when he's in there slicing up the rebellion lunchroom. Those guys are on their lunch break and he's slicing them up because he's mad because somebody stole his thumb drive. Never steal Darth Vader's thumb drive, by the way. I don't want to underestimate Vader's ability here. He has the ability to be very angry, obviously, and his mental strength. But I do think that the sort of the mystique about Vader and the intimidation of this metal machine, like, you'd have to be, even if you're Maul, you got to be thinking, this is going to be a fucking battle. I don't know if I can do this. And I don't think that he would in the end. But like, just like I said, I don't know if I recorded this part or if I cut this out, but it's sort of like baseball. It's a matter of inches and seconds. It's a performance. Somebody could slip when they weren't expecting, and then you got it. If these two fought 10 times, maybe Vader wins 6 times and Maul wins 4 times. I don't know. But if they have to fight once till the death, I'm going with Darth Vader. Let me hear your comments below. I know you got a lot to say. I know I'm catch heat for this, and I'm gonna catch praise for this, but I think that's right. I think Vader all the way. All right, that's it for this week. Make sure to subscribe below. You can visit everywhere at Pop Culture Fridays. Thisiswhereyouare.com is the site for the podcasting. Make sure to leave some comments below. Let me know what you think. Who would you pick to fight first? Who would win and why? Who would win, do you think, in my little scenario here? And do you think, I think this is a good idea, Star Wars Fight Club. I think you've got some of these people alive. You've got whoever played Darth Maul, if you can get this guy off Instagram. Get him in a costume. Film these fights. Make it happen while people are still alive. Luke, I know he's a bit older, but Ewan McGregor, Liam Neeson, if he's just kind of canceled, but just bring him back as a different galaxy, different time. They don't have Twitter over there or interviews or whatever. Do it now. Film these fights and then just lock it away. And then 20 years down the road, be like, well, we kind of filmed this thing called Star Wars Fight Club, and it's just two people fighting to the death. People would pay fuck tons of money to see Darth Vader fight Darth Maul, or Boba Fett fight fucking Princess Leia, or R2-D2 fight BB-8 or whatever. Let's just do it. Just do it now while everyone's still alive. Starting to get emotional here. I'm going to calm down a little bit and see what happens. Star Wars Fight Club. Let's make it happen, guys. Come on. # Star Wars Fight Club. Let's get it going. All right. Until next week.